You know that feeling, right? You spend hours cramming for a test only for those key facts to just evaporate the next day. It is so frustrating. Well, today, we're going to break down a system for hacking your memory so that what you learn actually sticks.
It's a super familiar feeling. I mean, you read a chapter, you watch a documentary, you feel like you really get it. But then, give it a day, and it's like it's all gone. Almost like you're pouring all this great knowledge into a leaky bucket.
And it turns out it's not just you. The science here is honestly pretty wild. Research shows that we can forget up to a staggering 90% of what we learn within the first 24 hours. Just think about that for a second. All that effort, just gone. That's kind of the default setting for most of our brains.
But what if you could totally flip that script? What if you could be in that top 10% of people who actually hold on to what they learn? Look, this isn't about being some kind of genius. It's just about having the right system. And the one we're going to walk through today is just 4 simple steps.
So, here's our game plan. We're going to start with active reading, then move to mapping visually. After that, we'll explain it aloud. And finally, we'll summarize and review. Now, you're definitely going to want to stick around to the very end, because that's where I'm going to reveal a cheat code that ties all of this together for almost instant recall. But I gotta warn you, the cheat code only really works if you've mastered these 4 steps first.
Okay, so let's dive in. It all starts here with step 1, active reading. Now, I know this might sound a little basic, but trust me, it is the absolute foundation for everything that comes next. Think of it like you're carefully planting the seeds of knowledge in your mind.
Let's be honest. Most of us are so guilty of passive skimming, where our eyes just kind of glide over the words. That barely scratches the surface. Active reading, on the other hand, is like a full-contact sport for your brain. You aren't just reading, you're engaging. You're asking questions, connecting new ideas to things you already know, and highlighting only the most important points. This forces your brain to process everything on a way deeper level, which makes it stick.
And now for step 2. So once you've actively read the material, it's time to give all those new ideas some structure. We're going to do this by mapping everything out visually so we can start weaving a really strong web of connections.
The trick here is creating simple, handmade mind maps. And listen, here's the secret sauce. You create a small mind map for every single paragraph. Why? Well, it forces you to break down really dense information into these bite-sized chunks. The actual physical act of drawing the lines and connecting the dots, it turns these abstract ideas into something real, something tangible that your brain can grab onto. It's a fantastic cognitive exercise.
And this isn't just some random trick. There's real science behind why this works so well. It's called dual coding theory. Basically, when you create a mind map, you're giving your brain 2 different ways to get to that information. Visually, through the map's shape and structure, and verbally, through the words themselves. You've literally created 2 pathways for recall instead of just one, which pretty much doubles your chances of remembering it.
All right, let's move on to step 3. And this is a secret weapon that most people completely overlook, using your own voice as a memory tool. This is where you really start to lock in that knowledge for good. So here's what you do. It's super simple. First, you hit record on your phone and you explain the entire lesson out loud, using all those little mind maps as your guide. Then you do it again, a second time. But this time, you put the mind maps away and you explain the whole thing purely from memory.
You see, that second recording, the one where you're not looking at your notes, that's where the magic happens. It kicks off this incredibly powerful process called active recall. Instead of just passively reviewing the information, you are actively pulling it out of your brain. It's like lifting weights for your memory. Every single time you successfully remember a fact, you're making that neural pathway stronger, which makes it even easier to find next time.
And that brings us to the final step, step 4. This is where we pull everything together and distill it down into its most powerful form. I like to think of this as the ultimate memory hack. Remember all those small mind maps you made for each paragraph? Okay, now it's time to bring them all together. Your mission is to create one single, one-page summary mind map of the entire lesson. Now, this isn't just about copying your old notes. It's about synthesis. You have to filter out all the noise and focus only on the absolute most important ideas and how they connect to each other.
What you end up with is this, the ultimate review tool. You've basically turned a whole dense, complicated topic into one single scannable page. But that's not even the best part. The real magic is what you do with it next. Okay, you've done the work, here's the payoff. The cheat code.
Weeks, even months later, when you need to remember this stuff, you don't have to reread the whole book. You just glance at your one-page summary mind map. And if any little part of it feels a bit fuzzy, you just listen to that recording you made of yourself explaining it. And just like that, the information will come flooding back. It is without a doubt the most efficient review system you can imagine.
So you see, this whole system, it's not really about cheating at all, is it? It's not about cheap tricks. It's a complete process for really engaging with information, for giving it structure, and for building a powerful way to recall it later. You're not just memorizing facts, you are truly mastering the material,